Now, I don't think I'm wrong in assuming that everyone who has clicked on this video has an addiction, including me. This addiction, on the outside looking in, does not seem problematic whatsoever, but in reality, it is severely stunting your growth as a human, preventing you from becoming your best self and reaching higher states of consciousness. And the addiction I'm referencing is the addiction to self-help and improvement. If you're like me, you're constantly reading the next book, trying to learn new things, and trying to receive all the guidance possible without necessarily implementing any of it. Or to be more specific, without necessarily implementing any of it in the long term. I move on to the next self-help book without necessarily trying to master what I learned in the one before. And if we keep reading and learning, but never necessarily implementing, we won't grow. If I don't actually try and dedicate time to mastering the skills I just learned about, then I won't improve as a human. I'll just have this massive knowledge bank without any actions to show for it. I will have wells of knowledge in the subject matters that I read about, communication, etc., without it necessarily being reflected in the way that I am. There are so many things I would love to master: visualization, presence, effective communication, responding over reacting, selflessness, and forgiveness. But trying to master all of these things at once means that all of these things get my divided attention. And divided attention does not lead to mastery. The first self-help book I ever read that got me into this journey was The Power of Now. This book fundamentally changed me and gave me irreplaceable knowledge. But did I ever, really and sincerely, try to master the art of presence? Think back to the first self-help book or personal development book that you ever read. Did you retain any of the skills that you learnt about? Did you even try to retain them? Did you make an intentional effort to change as a result of the skills that you learnt about? Do you currently use any of those skills consistently in your everyday life? And have you practiced using them under a variety of conditions, on days where you're both your best and maybe your worst self? What we all need to do is go back to the very first book that we ever read that kickstarted our self-improvement journey, that kickstarted our dedication to trying to better our lives each and every day. We need to dedicate some time, however long it takes, to master the art that that book was trying to teach us about. In my case, it's presence. The Power of Now was trying to teach me the art of presence. I need to actually try and master the art of being more present. This means taking a few months or more to really analyze my days and try and figure out how I can be a more present person. It means looking at the problems that I encounter when I'm trying to be more present and finding solutions to them. For example, how can I maintain my level of presence throughout my day rather than just starting the day with a present meditation and then kind of letting it slip off towards the end of the day? Or what kind of cues do I need to look for within myself to tell me that I need to reconnect with presence and take a deep breath? Journal about the times where you started to lack your certain skill and analyze why you were lacking them. That is how you truly master a skill. You be vulnerable and honest with yourself and recognize where you may have been lacking. You recognize that, yeah, I was not present during that conversation. I let my emotions take over me. And you try and figure out how you can be better the next time. Really try and master the skill with your daily actions. It is really easy to know that presence is important, but it's much harder to act from a place of presence every day. It does not at all have to be perfect when you decide it's the right time to move on to learning your next skill and continue your journey on becoming your best self. However, you do need a solid foundation with that skill. One that won't just wash away as soon as you try and dedicate your focus and attention to the next skill you're trying to learn. Some of these things are lifelong skills, but it's about taking time with each skill and giving it your full attention in order to see how you can implement it in your everyday life. I challenge you to pick a skill, comment it down below, and actually dedicate time to learning that skill. Share your progress. Make someone hold you accountable. If you want to learn to respond rather than react, comment that down below and start your journey. We are all in it together. Improving ourselves really does improve the whole world. I heard a quote the other day that said, if people would only sweep their own doorstep, then the whole world would be clean. So if you just take your time to actually learn skills that'll improve you, it'll improve the world. So join me on my journey to presence. That is the first skill that I'm going to focus on. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. As a reminder, modifications of any of this advice is completely okay. You are doing something that you can do, and that is something that should be praised. If you can, drop a comment down below about a skill you're going to develop, and also give this video a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated, if you're still watching. I hope you're able to find the smallest of takeaways from this video given the lifestyle that you live and the conditions that you face. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Peace.